Just I know there's always that kind of excitement level before a fight, but a fight like this with a guy that you've been in there with that you know is going to put you through those car crashes that you're used to, what's the feeling like ahead of that?
Yeah, I feel good, man. It's always nice to be back in the main event under the spotlight. I missed it, so I'm excited to be back here and excited to perform again. It's what I love to do.
Is there any different mindset? Because like I'm sure there's certain matchups that you go, I bet I could go dominate that guy. I mean, this doesn't look like a fight where either guy's going to be able to dominate, right? Like it's going to be a war, and that's what
Yeah.
everybody's excited about. Is that a different feel?
I mean, every fight you prepare for is the reason why we're such big fans of this sport is because it's so anything, anytime. Any shot, one shot's all it takes. And yeah, this guy is dangerous. And usually, I've accepted that this is a 50-50 fight in my mind, and with the chance at retribution, it's been driving me every day to work harder.
The BMF title, kind of become a loved thing. It's fun. Does it feel like, because you've been in championship matchups, I mean, does it have the same feel as a true championship matchup, or is it just kind of a fun aspect?
I mean, I think this fight gives you that feel without anything on the line. But yeah, I mean, for the legacy, it's huge. We first is championship belts, and second is legacy. That's why we fight. Third might be money, but those first two things are very important. And we're all trying to create a legacy that's going to live on well past our time, and that's been my goal from day one.
I think a lot of people look at it as a 50-50 fight the same way you do. Lots being made about the elevation, the fact that you train in elevation, live in elevation. Do you feel that matters when you get in there?
I think it's going to help with the confidence a little bit, but at the end of the day, tired is tired, and it's going to suck. And we've both been preparing mentally to push through that, and that's part of the game.
Last thing for me, I mean, everybody's looking forward to this fight. Every time you get in there, it could be a fight of the year. Are you looking at this also as a #1 contender fight? We know we've got a championship matchup in a few months. I mean, are you thinking about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is #2 versus #3. I mean, #1's fighting the champion in October, and then we're going to fight the winner of that, the winner of this fight.
Justin, earlier this week, Dustin said if this fight goes 25 minutes, you'll both be talking about it in hospital because that's where you'll be. Do you sort of agree with that assessment?
Yeah, probably. I mean, we both created a lot of damage. And 25 minutes is a long time to create that damage. So I mean, that's a pretty fair assessment, I would say.
For people who don't understand the elevation, on UFC Embedded, it looked like Dustin only just got here. He didn't come here early to acclimatize. What sort of difference does it make training at elevation for your fight performance?
I think, confidence. Confidence is huge, and, it's just going to give me that confidence. I've been pushing myself, extremely hard at altitude, higher altitudes than this, but tired is tired, and we're going to get really tired.
A lot of people talk, you included, talk about your transition from crazy brawler to more technical striker. Does any part of you wonder, like, if me and Dustin go in there and it goes crazy, that I'll have to just revert back to that crazy brawler and I still have that in me? Or do you think, no, I have to be more technical to find success?
Yeah, I think I have to be more technical, no matter what. Obviously, I'm willing to, fight fire with fire. That's what we do in this game. But I'm going to try to be as methodical as possible and make no mistakes. At this level, it's mistakes. Take advantage of their mistakes and make no mistakes.
In terms of the BMF title, you two are fighting for the belt, but is there anyone else in the division that you think, hey, that guy, he's a BMF, and I could see myself maybe defending this title against him one day?
Oh, shit. I'm not really thinking about anybody else right now.
Definitely.
Well, just kind of going off of that, do you envision that if you do win, that you would defend this belt? Because I know Jorge never really defended. He said that was one of one.
Yeah, I think the aspirations are the championship belt. I think this catapults us right to that, and so I won't be looking to defend that. If I have a choice, it's going to be going for the championship belt.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is your first rematch since the Luis Palomino fight, the second one. In terms of preparation at camp, does anything change when you're preparing for a rematch as opposed to a fresh face?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think, especially with the 5 years in between, we're both completely different people, different fighters. And, with age comes wisdom. I've obviously grown. He's grown. And, there's, I remember he has a really nice left hand. It's a beautiful left hand, so we've been working on that.
And given how after your first fight, like he had to do his media scrum sitting down because you beat him up, you had obviously a lot of damage too. When you went to your family and you were like, "I'm fighting Dustin Poirier again," were they just like they remembered what happened last time after the fight. Did they?
Yeah,
ever,
but
was
my
there any-
family is extremely competitive. If we go bowling, we have to take different vehicles because somebody will leave somebody. So they're as excited as I am for a chance to get that fight back.
Then last one for me. It might be a little weird question, but if a little kid comes up to you and asks what the BMF title stands for, do you say it's a bad motherfucker belt, or do you have to kind of change it?
I haven't, luckily I haven't ran into that situation. So I'm not sure what I would say. I think, I think I would probably describe it as a championship belt to a kid.
Justin, right here. It seems like the plan is to have Jorge Masvidal wrap the belt around the winner here, but he's a teammate of Dustin. He says he thinks Dustin is going to win. Do you even want him to do that if you win this fight?
Yeah, I want to make him do it. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Make the moment sweeter for you.
Yep.
Who do you think?
I know he'll hate it, so I'll love it that much more.
Who do you think wins between Islam and Charles when they fight later this year?
I mean, you'd be a fool to say Charles. We saw the last fight, and so if you're gonna bet money, granted you're not gonna get good odds on that money, but yeah, I would say Islam. I would prefer Charles because I want to get that fight back as well.
Thank you.
Hey Justin, I don't know if you saw this stat, but like it's kind of a wild one. Like since your last fight,
Yeah, the exact same.
yeah, like isn't that just a weird? Like when you
Yeah.
saw that, like did you trip out?
I mean, we both fight the best, and we've both continued to do that. Both continue to prove ourselves, and so I mean, with that loss, the trajectory was different, but ultimately the destination's always the same. We've both been fighting for a championship belt this entire time.
Thanks, man.
Justin Red over here. Last year, you talked about meeting 920 Salt Lake City fans over the course of 3.5 hours outside of the Delta Center, now as the Vivint Arena back then. And so was there any sort of a reaction to the fact that you get to fight in front of a bunch of people who you got to meet last year? And was there any reaction for you to come back here or anything like that?
I mean, these people love fighting. The show last year was fantastic. They showed out. But I'm going to give them a better show than they got last time. Me and Dustin, I got the perfect training partner, perfect dance partner. I mean, but I love fighting for people. That's what I'm a performer. I love to show off, and these people are going to appreciate it. So I love that.
Actually, one follow up. Obviously, your former opponent Tony Ferguson's fighting on this fight card. What do you think of his career? Like, obviously, since he fought you, it's been down. But like, do you think like he took so much damage in that fight that it ruined his career?
No, I don't think. For one, I think he's crazy enough for that not even to be a possibility. I think we play a rough game, and it's so unforgiving. I think he won the first round against Michael Chandler. I think he dropped him, and it's just it's a battle of confidence, battle of believing in yourself, and there's no doubt that something like that takes that away from you, and you have to work hard to get it back. But he's a fighter through and through. I got nothing but respect for him, and I'm just hope that all of us have people that love us enough that are willing to have that conversation, and that he's willing to listen, or I'm willing to listen, or any fighter is willing to listen when that conversation is to be had.
Do you think he's at that point where it's time to hang it up, or?
I mean, we're all on a timeline, There's a beginning and end, and none of us in our mid-30s are towards the beginning. There's no doubt about it.
Awesome. Thanks, man.